One of the things that I want to speak to here is polarization and an antidote to it. One of the things that I learned in my career as a litigator and as a mediator, and then later on working in the whole field of emotional intelligence, is that when we're polarizing, when we're in a power struggle and in a big fight, what's actually going on is that we're resisting a new level of vision that is wanting to emerge. So let me say that again. When we're caught in a big fight, in a piece where we're polarizing and in a power struggle, what's actually going on is that a new level of vision is wanting to emerge, but we are aborting that birth. We are sabotaging that process. Because ultimately, a new level of vision is going to call us to grow, to go out of our comfort zone, and that is scary. So instead, what we would rather do is have a fight with someone, because what it actually does is keep us in our zone of comfort. But the real antidote is to dig deep in terms of what is the new level of vision that is wanting to emerge here. And how can you become a catalyst, a facilitator, a nurturer of that vision? You will have seen from other shorts where I talk a lot about how nothing is black or white. Ultimately, there are a lot of shades of gray. And the antidote to polarization, of course, is in the shades of gray. But it's also in our willingness to grow. Because fighting is actually about trying to stay in our comfort zone by convincing the other person that we're right. But deep down, what often we really want is a new level of connection, is a new level of relationship, is a new level of understanding, is a new level of partnering. And what I'm seeing at this time is we're birthing a big vision. We are currently called to birth a big vision, a big new vision on the planet itself. A new operating system. That's scary. And so guess what? Instead of doing that, we're going to polarize. So where do you start in relation to this? You start in your own life. What is the next level of vision that is wanting to emerge for you in your life, in your work, in your leadership? You start there, you embrace that. In terms of your relationships, what is the next level of relationship and relating that is wanting to emerge? You embrace that. And as we navigate this time, you get very, very, very curious as to what is the next level of vision that your community is being called to, that your state is being called to, that your country is being called to, that the world is being called to. And that may seem very big and very out there. But all you need to focus on is your piece of the jigsaw. To start there. By honoring the next level of vision that is wanting to come through you now. Where you are now in your life. To get curious about it. To get clear about it. And to make it real. So don't let yourself get distracted by the polarization. And that energy is really strong right now. If you are polarizing, just know there's a chance that there's something you are missing. And, I get it all the time, when I'm on social media or I'm seeing the things that are happening in the world. And I can feel the place where it's like, I just want to stand there really far away from the other side. And I want to tell them and scream at them that I am right. And I allow some time for that. I don't usually go and share about it at that point, but I allow myself to be in that space. But then I get curious as to what is from the depths wanting to actually emerge here. One of the things that I learned, again, through my work as a mediator, as a litigator, but also in love relationships, actually, I learned that if you go deep enough, when you're having a fight, actually, ultimately, you're wrestling with the same issue. And if you resolve that issue, which is the real issue, everything goes to another level. So let's start asking ourselves, what are we truly wrestling with under the surface of this polarization? What are the real conversations? One of the images I share a lot, I might have shared it on some previous shorts, is the image of the Titanic. Let's imagine the Titanic, we're on it, it's sinking. Well, you can be one of the ones who's trying to be right about which deck the chairs need to be on, or you can be part of the crew that goes down and checks on the hull to see if we can fix it, to actually look at what the real problem is. What is the real conversation that nobody is having? Because that's where the next level of vision actually lives. And so what is the conversation you're not having with yourself? What is the conversation that you're not having in your life, that you're not having in your work, that you're not having in your leadership? Start getting curious about that for you. And then start getting curious about what are the conversations? What is the conversation we are not having? And instead, we're choosing to have a big fight. And once you've uncovered that, that's where the vision lives. And that's where things start to change.